For this recipe, we're going to use peanut butter. This is a big player for this dish, and our choice of protein is going to be smoked turkey. Now, if you are in the Congo, mostly it is cooked with smoked and dried fish. And once the dish is ready, we're going to eat it with either plantain or, you guys already know, the Congolese chikwang. All right. The botanical name for this leaf is Gnetum africanum. It grows in dense equatorial forest, like in South America, Asia, and of course Africa. In Africa, you will find it in countries such as Congo, Cameroon, Central Republic, Angola, and Nigeria. And in each of these countries, this name bears a different name. In the Congo, for example, we call it fumbwa or coco, and in Nigeria, they call it UKAZI or afang. So if you go in an African or international market, you can ask for UKAZI or fumbwa leaf or Gnetum africanum. You will also find one of those names on the packages. This leaf has great health benefits, guys. It is high in fiber, calcium, and a great source of protein. In some regions, they even use it for medicinal purposes, such as controlling blood sugar. In the Congo, for example, besides using it in food like we are making it right now, we also use it for certain types of wound care or as an antidote for certain types of poison. And with pregnant women, it can be used for nausea or labor pain control and much more. When it comes to smoked turkey, I like to start by rinsing it a little bit in warm water or hot water. So I'm going to rinse my turkey first, and I'm going to let it sit for a little bit. Now in here I have a homemade mixtures of onion. Okay, so pay attention here. We have onion, garlic, green onion, and green pepper. So usually I like to make a big batch of it, and then I put it in small compartments. So when it's time for me to cook, I don't have to be chopping all the time. So this is what's in here: garlic, onion, green onion, parsley, and green pepper. We're going to use this to start cooking. We're going to start with adding a little bit of oil in our pan. It's just enough, because the peanut butter also has oil. So I'm going to use just a little bit. Next, we're going to add our mixture of green onion. Below the video, I'm going to write exactly how much of this I've used. So this is approximately 1 medium onion, 4 green onions, a couple of garlic, parsley, but I will put that information so you can have everything that I've used in here. 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. The amount of peanut butter added depends on the consistency of the stew. So if you want it to be thick, you want to add much more peanut butter, and if you want it to be lighter, you can decrease the amount of peanut butter that you add. So it really depends on you. You cannot go wrong. And if you realize that you happen to put too much peanut butter, you can always add a little bit more water to make it lighter. So you can't go wrong with the peanut butter. Just don't add a whole jar. All right. And now we're going to add our turkey that we rinsed in boiled water. And smoked turkey, it's partially cooked really, and I just wanted to boil the stew to mix with everything else, and so that it can not just soften a little bit more, but also create the flavor of the smoked turkey and all the ingredients that we are adding. So we're going to add water. And once again, this is depending on the consistency that you want. And this recipe is so straightforward, you guys, and it's light. Now we're going to let it boil for 30 minutes on medium high. When it comes to the amount of fumbwa to use, it all depends on the quantity. How much are you making? Just ask yourself, how much spinach would you like in your stew? The same goes for this. If you are in the Congo, you go directly to a local market where the women are chopping it and people are buying it. The leaves are fresh, like your spinach, right? It's fresh. You can just rinse it and dump it in your stew. But because this has traveled, right, it's a little bit dry. What we're going to do, we're going to let it sit in warm water to kind of regain some of that freshness a little bit before we dump it in our, before we add it. There you go. Before we add it to the pot. As a kid, I used to be so fascinated when I would go to the local market and watch the women. They will just take the leaves and put them in a bundle and just be like chopping it like really thinly and super fast. And I used to be just so fascinated. It was like they were like Wonder Women to me. Like, how can you be chopping? So they'll be like chopping really close to their hand. And I'm like, how can you be chopping so fast, so close to your hand and not cut yourself? I used to be so fascinated by it. Yeah, just memories. This is going to be a really good dish, you guys. You're going to love it. Like, give it a try, you know. You can get the leaves at an African market or an international market. So remember, you either ask for UKAZI leaf, or coco, or fumbwa. Usually those three names will be on the packet, and you can just ask them for it. And sometimes they will have it. They will have the fresh leaves in the freezer, or they will have the dry leaves out. So again, just ask for UKAZI or coco or fumbwa. Usually they will know where to find it.
Now we're going to add a chicken bouillon and some bay leaf.
I didn't add salt because I added the bouillon, and the turkey also tend to be a little bit salted, so that usually creates the right amount of salt for me. So if it's not salted enough, just go ahead and add the salt to your preference. And now I'm going to add the leaves, making sure not to put it too close. I don't want to destroy my plastic container. It's pretty hot there. I added one bouillon, you guys. You can add more than one. You can, put two. Just extra seasoning, doesn't hurt. And if you want this spicy, you can go ahead and add a hot pepper. And for some added spice, if you don't want it, don't add it. If you want it even hotter, add some more. So now we're going to let this cook for an extra 10 minutes on medium heat, and we'll be ready to dig in.
I don't know what else to tell you guys, but there you have it. No matter what you call it, UKAZI, Ero, Coco, or Fumbwa, give this dish a try, especially now that you know a very simple way to make it, Congolese style. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time on Benny's Pantry. Ciao.
This is so good, you guys.
good. And I'm gonna finish this, okay? I'm finishing this. This is really good.